Patrick Mahomes versus Brock Purdy in the Super Bowl, aka Taylor Swift versus San Fran, aka Mr. Irrelevant versus Travis Kelsey. Guys, this is going to be a great game. Two great defenses, two great offenses, so let's go ahead and get right into it. This year, Kansas City, I mean, every single game we're sitting there waiting for the offense to explode, and we're thinking to ourselves, well, I mean, it's Patrick Mahomes, it's Travis Kelsey. They got this rookie receiver, Rashee Rice. Boy's been balling, but we just don't know what's going to come from them. And we tell ourselves, it's Patrick Mahomes, it's Patrick Mahomes, it's Patrick Mahomes. And then we finally get here to the AFC Conference Championship. And at least for me, I'm like, well, the offense hasn't been doing nothing. This Baltimore team just looked great in the second half versus a Houston Texans team that is a year early, guys. Let's just be real. And I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. I'm buying into the hype like, oh, Baltimore's about to roll them boys. And nope, it doesn't happen. And I just get shell-shocked. Luckily, we had a good Sunday. At the end of it, we ended up hitting two SGP, same game parlays on the San Fran Lions game, so made up for it. But, I mean, you watch them come out. KC, first drive, shuts down the Ravens, 3-and-out. Patrick Mahomes gets the ball. What happens? Straight down the field. Travis Kelsey balling. I think 3 big catches, touchdown catch. First drive of the game for them. And you're thinking to yourselves, oh, shit, here we go again. That meme. And you just knew it was going to be that kind of game. They looked like they controlled everything. That it ended up being 17-10, but it looked like it could have been 27-10, how it felt. And you just have to sit back and think to yourself, this is still Patrick Mahomes. This is still Travis Kelsey. Except this time, they have one of the top 3 defenses in the league this year, literally. And jumping over to San Fran, you got this team that's looked dominant all year. Something happened this little 3-game stretch, and they come back from it, and they just haven't looked as dominant as they did before. They get the first round bye. You watch them play Green Bay, and it's like, oh, shit, San Fran should have lost that game. They won the game, so like they should have won the game, you feel me? But they should have lost the damn game. As a Green Bay plus 10 better, it was very nice, so thank you for that. But, I mean, you're watching him, and it's like, is Brock Purdy the guy? Is he not the guy? And then they come out in Detroit, and you're seeing him getting slapped again. I believe it was, 24-7 at the half? First time a conference championship game anybody's ever came back from down 17? I mean, bro, how do you predict that? You're watching the game, and it's like, wow, Detroit came out. It's gonna be Kansas City versus Detroit in the Super Bowl, bro. I don't want to watch that shit, bro. I'm sorry. Yo, Detroit fans, bro, I'm sorry about it. I do not like Jared Goff on my TV, bro. He balled this year. I know I got to give him his respect, but I don't want to see that boy Jared Goff on my screen, bro. He just bores me for some reason. He looks boring to me. Now we got Brock versus Patrick. San Fran comes out in that second half against Detroit. Absolutely dominates the game like I thought they would going into the game. Luckily, I took them on a money line on a parlay instead of by the spread. Last-second decision that saved me. And they end up pulling it out. So now we look ahead to the Super Bowl. Super Bowl 58, guys. Vegas. I mean, it's gonna be a great atmosphere. You look at this game. You have the early look ahead on it. Niners open up at -3. People eat that shit up. Ends up moving down the line to 2.5, then to 1.5, then to 1. Now I believe it's sitting here at 1.5 for the Niners. I mean, people are eating this Chiefs up. I think 63% of the money is on the Chiefs money line, and then like 73% was on the Chiefs by the spread. They're going to have to do something with this line to get some San Fran money. I honestly would not be surprised if this line flipped and KC became the favorite. And it's not often that public betting moves the line like it's doing this week, but everybody is on this Chiefs team. Me as well. Luckily, I scooped up Chiefs money line plus 115 earlier in the week, Sunday specifically. Now I believe it's sitting there around even money plus 100. I'm not betting against Mahomes ever again in my life. I'm going to take them by the spread, maybe tease it an extra 10 points every single game for the rest of my life probably, and just hit every single time. Mahomes, I'm sorry for doubting you versus the Ravens, bro. So please let me get some money back this week, bro. But we got San Fran, KC. You got Kansas City record this year, 14-6, including the playoffs, and San Fran 14-5. Against the spread, Kansas City's 12-8 this year. San Fran's 9-10. The over/under, guys. This is a key one that I'm looking at in this game. Is the over and the under. You got Kansas City. The under hits in 14 out of 20 games. 14-6 this year on the under, guys, in Kansas City games. In their last 10, San Fran record against the spread, 4-6, but they're 8-2 in that time frame as well. But their last 3 games, guys, against the spread, San Fran is 0-3. Not a good sign for me. This San Fran offense, though, guys, is scary to want to bet against. They're second in yards per game, first in yards per play, third in rushing yards, 8 in rush attempts, fourth in rush yards per play, fourth in pass yards per game, 32nd in the league at pass attempts, but fourth in the league in passing yards, guys. So they threw the ball the least amount in the league, but had the fourth most amount of passing yards, with also the third most amount of rushing yards per game. In QB rating, Brock Purdy first in the league at 106. And you just think to yourself, I mean, the over's got to hit. You got Patrick Mahomes. You got this great offense in San Fran. But then you look down here at the defense, guys. You got Kansas City only allowing 16.8 points per game, second least in the league. League average is 22. So they're letting 5 points less than the league average. They just seem to shut people down. When I seen this Baltimore offense rolling in the second half versus the Texans, I'm thinking to myself, they're going to come in here and do the same thing. Ravens are the number 1 rushing team in the league. What's Kansas City's weakness in all of our eyes? Rush defense. You know what the Ravens didn't do? Run the damn ball. Is San Fran going to be able to just run down Kansas City's throat? You got Trent Williams. You got Christian McCaffrey. You got Kittle blocking like a damn tackle. They're just going to run the ball on them boys the whole game. They're going to eat up the clock. They're going to keep Patrick Mahomes off the field, and they're going to dominate that way. And what did I think about the Ravens also? The same shit. I'm not making the same mistake, guys. Patrick Mahomes here as a dog, 9-3 straight up, 10-1-1 against the spread. I know we all seen it every single on Instagram, on Twitter, on YouTube, on Instagram, straight flexing. But, guys, I'm not going to be a dummy. If I lose with Patrick Mahomes in my bankroll, I'm losing with P. I ain't betting against that boy no more. We got Kansas City here. 7-3 in their last 10, 6-4 against the spread. 4 overs have hit, 6 unders have hit. Guys, Kansas City in their last 6 games has hit against the spread. Let me say that again. Kansas City in their last 6, straight up, 6-0 against the spread. It's absolutely ridiculous. You look at these numbers and it's like, how? And you got Kansas City's offense here, 9th in the league in yards per game, 11th in yards per play, 19th in rushing yards, 13th in rushing yards per play, 6th in passing yards per game, 2nd in pass attempts. So let's remember, San Fran, 4th most amount of passing yards per game, least amount of passing attempts. Kansas City, 2nd most passing attempts per game and 6th most passing yards per game. It's a big difference, guys. And right there in the middle of the pack at QB rating with 90, Patrick was 16th in the league, literally middle of the pack. This game is just going to really come down to me, experience. You got Patrick Mahomes on one side and you got Brock Purdy on the other. You got Taylor Swift on one side. We all hear the conspiracies. The NFL has to have Taylor Swift win. She's brought in so much damn bread for them boys. You got to let her win. You can't take her out the game. So it's like, I mean, what are we doing? Is Patrick Mahomes going to come out and is he going to dominate like we all think that he should? Or is the San Francisco team going to come out and dominate like we should think that they should? And you don't know what's going to happen because these teams, I mean, they really have been some type of roller coaster. But let's look at straight up matchups. You got Snead on the outside versus Ayuk. Advantage Chiefs, in my opinion. You got McDuffie there in the slot. I'm not too sure who's really going to be lining up in the slot. Sometimes it's Debo. Sometimes it's Jennings. It just kind of depends on what's going on. But McDuffie's got a matchup advantage against them boys, too. I really do think that. You got Chris Jones up the middle. We don't know San Francisco as this great offensive line. I mean, it's really one of their weaknesses this year, if anything. And you got an unexperienced Brock Purdy. I think that this moment's really big. I think that the Chiefs have been there before. I think that we're going to see the experience show, the maturity, and this team is going to come out and they're going to look composed. They're going to make San Fran play the game that they want to play, and that's exactly what they did against the Ravens. The Ravens come out, the most dominant team in the NFL, blew out the 49ers 50 da 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 to whatever. And you got them versus the Chiefs here, and it's like they can't do anything. They look like a bunch of rookies. Lamar was shell shocked. Harbaugh was shell shocked, and they just look like they don't know what's going on in the game. The Chiefs come out there and make them throw the ball deep all game. Lamar had 40 pass attempts, guys. You're not winning the game versus the Chiefs, whose their strongest advantage is their corners. You're not winning a game where you're throwing the ball 40 times when you're the number one rush team in the league. That's not going to happen. So, how I think this game is going to play out, we got Patrick on one side staying composed. Maybe they get down at some point. Maybe they get down a little bit to where it's scary at one point, but he's always in the game. He's always going to try to make the comeback. He never feels out of it. That offense has been rolling in the playoffs. Their defense has been rolling in the playoffs. And I think that they're going to be able to shut down that boy Brock Purdy. I'm really not set in stone on one side. We have plenty of time to look at what happens with injuries, storylines, whatever's going on. So I'll be putting out preview videos, maybe 2 or 3 before the Super Bowl. And as of right now, I do have money on the Chiefs. Money line, I'm not even going to take him against the spread. He's 9-3 straight up when he's an underdog. So for me, I'm taking the plus money on that, and we're going to rock that. So, and that's my way too early breakdown of this game. We're going to keep on coming. We're going to keep on coming with stats, more stats and stats and stats. We're going to come out with more trends. This is kind of just like off the top, a little summary, not necessarily coming out prepared with numbers and everything in this one, kind of just feeling as of right now, guys. So thanks for stopping in. Like, subscribe, comment how you think the game's going to go, comment who you think is going to win, and I'll see you in the next one.